almost immediately after his ordination, Father Sullivan was appointed to the teaching staff of Clongowes Wood College in County Kildare, where he spent most of the rest of his life, with the exception of 5 years as rector of Rathfarnham Castle in Dublin. This period in his life, from 1907 until his death in 1933, was to be his second world. His life was characterized by acts of self-denial and by a total commitment to the service of God and of others. He and his crucifix, which belonged to his mother, were never separated. The cross was to be the source and the summit of all his achievements. Many stories are told of his time at Clongowes Wood and of his holiness of life. Willie Merriman, who worked at the college for many years, remembered him praying as he walked, the worn, emaciated face and hands, the threadbare garments, the low hum of the voice when he spoke of God. Willie told, too, of how his grave became a place of pilgrimage after his death. Father John's brother Edward often gave new boots to John, who promptly passed them to some poor caller at the college. He would frequently cycle to pray over the sick and comfort the dying of the area. One particular story tells of a 28-mile return journey he made on foot to attend to a sick person in the village of Ballymore Eustace. In this film, made in the 1960s, local people who remembered Father John further testified to his presence among them and of the many cures they attributed to his intervention. One tells of a local man dying of facial cancer and how Father John changed the dressings on his face. Another recalls a local girl cured first of meningitis and later of tuberculosis. One Clongowes Jesuit, a contemporary of his, recalled meeting a donkey and cart. The cart contained a 12-year-old girl crippled from birth. The woman driving the cart asked if Father John was at the college. Some months later, the same Jesuit saw the same child walking happily along beside her mother. This building, the People's Church at Clongowes, became the centre of his ministry and the source of his strength. Long into the night he would pray in this sacred space for all whom he was called to serve. As a teacher, he was never considered brilliant, and was by all accounts more concerned for the spiritual well-being of the young rather than their academic performance alone. He was invariably a kind and gentle father figure. People came from far and near to seek his spiritual guidance or ask for his intercession. At all times, Father Sullivan, the servant of God, had a great gift of calming and consoling those who were anxious or confused. The winter of 1932-1933 was severe. On the morning of February 17, 1933, another caller sought Father John's help, but the holy priest was ill himself and couldn't see him. The news spread throughout the neighbourhood that Father Sullivan was dying, seized by a violent internal pain. A decision was made to transfer him to St. Vincent's nursing home at Lower Leeson Street, Dublin, where surgery was performed. His brother, Sir William Sullivan, remained with him to the end, while young and old gathered in the People's Church at Clongowes to pray for the humble servant of God who was no longer to live among them. Father John himself spent the last 2 days of his life in continual prayer. At 11 o'clock on Sunday night, February the 19th, 1933, he received final absolution and died. He was buried in the college cemetery at Clongowes. In 1960, his remains were exhumed as part of the process in the cause for his canonization. They were transferred to the Jesuit Church of St. Francis Xavier, Upper Gardner Street, Dublin, where Father John now rests.
Requiescat in pace. Domine exaudi orationem mea.
But the people of Kildare wished to mark the first grave of their friend and pastor with their own special tribute to his generosity and devotion. Both places remain important milestones for all who wish to retrace his steps and pay their respects. Some see John Sullivan as a solitary, gaunt figure, pointing aloft to God. Others see him as a pattern of faith in an age of confusion, of hope in a time of distress, of love in the midst of life. Others again simply see him as one who dared to be different. Father John himself saw only the need to serve.